Okay, let's get into it. So here we have correspondence that has just been provided to public servants. Public servants who are agents. So let's see here. We've got Justice Services, is that right? The Attorney General, the Minister. We've got Victoria Crown. Oh, we've got Nikki Sharma and Gary Bagg. Those are both actors. Public servant actors. We've got one of the we've got one here who, just like we heard last Thursday, well, I mean, you're committing perjury, you're fabricating evidence, you're obstructing justice is what you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing. Why on earth you believe that you have that right? We're not sure. You don't have that right. You can't lie, okay? Lying is unlawful. Do you understand? Unlawful. Just fucking absolute fucking joke. Okay, so here we go. And this is Foreign Diplomat Victoria Ann to inform you, public servants, of the following correspondence that was sent to the person acting as duty counsel this week. Yesterday, you, Nikki Sharma, did receive a call, as did Gary Bagg, regarding yet another act of fraud on the court, intentional, willful promotion and public incitement of hatred against our people. So when Jesus prophesied that those of us who were here after he was here would be hated by the world, we now have proof positive that that is the truth. I mean, how much more proof would you like us to provide for you? We're not the liars, but we certainly know who are. No person is permitted to tell lies in a judicial proceeding or at any time whatsoever, yet once again, that is the operation of agents for the District of Saanich, the Crown, and this court, all corporations. Our people do not conduct business with fictions. So here's what's going on here. This is actually not a judicial proceeding that's trying to be forced upon this woman. This is a commercial transaction. All of these agents, all of these privateers, well, they're all receiving a commission. So if they're all receiving a commission, and every single one of them that's involved themselves in this, on August the 30th, we had 2 females and a male. Then last November, we had 3 females involved. And now just last Thursday, we've had 2 males and another female involved, and every single one of them is receiving a commission. This is not a judicial proceeding. This is it's all about them making money. Hearing June 12th, 2025, you public servants are obsessed and preoccupied with a woman you clearly hate and work daily to cause irreparable harm. We are certain you have reviewed the lawful reasons, the false allegations. Each count is withdrawn, and we've looked at them. We've looked at the counts. We looked at these absolutely ridiculous, just absolutely fucking laughable false. I mean, you've got to be joking. You see, once again, the Spawn have flipped the script. And they are accusing the victim of the crime of being the criminal. This has happened again and again and again. Yes, I have proof. Don't ever ask our people if we have proof. Ever. But then again, see, the wicked, being monsters, the wicked are mindless monsters. Right? The wicked are brainless beasts, which is the reason why their eyes don't see and their ears don't hear. And we know exactly who they are. They have a certain smell to them. They sound a certain way. So we possess the inherent power to govern you public servants as we are the principal, you the agent. No further warrant can be obtained by the prostitutors acting as the crown, as they are breaking the law, willfully ignoring guaranteed rights enshrined by the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms and international conventions Canadians are a party to uphold. If you make the choice to break the law tomorrow, June the 18th, as soon as the racially motivated hate crime to incite violence against a woman you hate has been completed to obtain without lawful reasons a warrant, that document must be scanned immediately and sent to this address. As I am the authority that will be canceling the warrant, scanning the document and emailing it back to the appropriate persons to be filed forthwith. The truth is the authority. That's the authority. That's why we're sent here, to give witness to the truth. I am the only woman who has first-hand fucking knowledge of what the fuck is going on here and why. So no other person, no other mindless monster, no other brainless beast is going to be interjecting their fucking ugliness onto this woman. You are not fucking above the law. We the people, us who identify as foreign diplomats, well, you realize, right? You understand what foreign diplomats are. They're immune from jurisdiction. Like they can't get it, they don't have it, they never have had it. We owe no duty, no debt, no obligation or allegiance to public servants acting as Canada or the province of British Columbia. There is no law in Canada or the province of British Columbia that forces our people to be forced into submission or servitude to public servant, private for-profit corporation jurisdiction. Your secular services are poisonous and useless to our people. All public servant presumptions and assumptions are rebutted. Rebutted. You can't prove subject matter nor personal jurisdiction. You can't prove it. You have nothing at all but the fucking lies you keep spinning. Do you understand? Well, fuck, of course they don't fucking understand. That's why it's written in Daniel 12:10, the wicked understand nothing. That's who we're being forced to fucking deal with. Right, now let's take a look at this. So last night, obviously, I have to draw up correspondence for the person who's acting as a duty counsel this week. And I provided correspondence to an individual who works in that office. So this is what we're doing here. Hannah, could you please provide for Peter before the end of work hours, Tuesday, June 17th, a brief regarding the following information, as we both know how busy days are for those acting as duty counsel. Thank you in advance. Please be advised every link is safe, and of course it would be. Like, our people aren't going around causing havoc and fucking chaos and destruction. That's not who we are. This is Victoria Ann from this conversation of June the 16th. So that was the conversation we had yesterday, finding out about, we have to get ahead of this hate crime that's about to go down tomorrow morning, right? And here's the fucking funny thing. Why is there a different person every single time? Why is there a different person every single time? Do each or any of those persons have any first-hand knowledge of what's going on here? Because if you don't, you can't be speaking to this matter. And if you've gone to these pathological fucking liars impersonating peace officers to get your information, you need to seek professional help. Because you need to check your source. You need to do your due diligence. And we all know that in Canada, the pathogens that are impersonating peace officers are pathological liars. They're not going to be hired to be the municipal security force unless they've proven to be pathological liars. That's exactly what they are. They're criminals with guns and tanks and SWATs and fucking tasers and fucking deadly weapons, break-in instruments. Oh, highly funded and highly fucking organized. Yeah. Right, so here we go. Let's continue on here. Okay, so this matters in regards to court file number, and we've all heard the court file number, of which an invitation has been extended in error, June the 12th, 2025. That was last Thursday, when once again there was another, it violates the War Crimes Act. What they did last week, not only, there's dozens of criminal code offenses that they did willfully, knowingly commit. But then they're fucking violating the BC Police Act. They're violating the War Crimes Act. The Terrorism Act. They're fucking breaching the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. But as we heard, according to an agent named Laura, who's presenting itself as the OPCC, they're all above the law. Yeah, we're just completely fucking lawless. So it would be a lie then that all are equal before the law and under the law, and have equal protection without discrimination. Then that's an out-and-out lie. Because your actions are the opposite of your words. Oh, that's right. They want a quick turnaround, right? You should have heard the threats that were spoken over this woman's life last Thursday. And the lies that were told. Just constant threats. Causing this woman, an innocent woman, now in her 50s, to literally be in fear for my life, which is what they want. That's what they feast off of. Like fucking vampires. The viroids, the pathogens. Hi, this is Leanne from Sannox Police. We have a warrant for your arrest. A judge has signed it. Oh, fuck, there you go. You're a compulsive liar, too. Well, we're certainly not surprised to learn who you are and what you are. But you're fucking quite clearly listening, because are we changing our behavior, are we? Are we no longer coming to threaten and menace this woman? And identifying ourselves as Sannox Police. Like that repeat offender, high risk, danger to everyone in the province, Nick Murray. Yeah, that's one of the best and brightest employees of the District of Saanich. Rico. So here's what they fucking don't get, right? Here's what they just can't fucking swallow. We the people are governed and policed only by our consent, not by force and fraud. They actually fucking believe they have authority that they do not have. That's a sign of mental illness. Did you hear the conversation that was recorded with Laura? Doing business as the Office of the Police Complaints Commission, believing that it has authority? No, actually the victim of the crime is the highest authority. And if we report crimes to any of these public service agencies, they will not be denying service. Well, we have found, our opinion is, I don't give a fuck what your opinion is. What the fuck do you know about it anyway? Do you have any first-hand knowledge of what's going on? Then your opinion is fucking irrelevant. And you are now violating multitudes of sections of the Criminal Code of Canada. Oh, but wait a minute. Are you above the law? Is that seriously what you believe? Because your actions prove that that's what you believe. And that's not the truth. Now we've got fucking more pathogens acting as public serpents who are now causing this woman intentional. It's intentional. Irreparable harm. They're all of one mind. You know, they all have the same thoughts, the toxic tares, the rotten roots. They all think the same. Oh, that's the truth. Like it or lump it, we're not here. We're not here to feed this fucking world that worships lies, their own regurgitated garbage. We'll be speaking the truth at all times. This is why we're hated. This is why we're targeted and humiliated and defiled and demeaned and fucking robbed of everything and persecuted. Racially motivated hate. Yeah, that's unlawful in Canada, actually. Unfortunately for you public serpents, there's this fucking lie going around that you have to include everyone. But as we can see from your fucking obsessive, violent behavior against this woman and her family, you clearly don't want to follow the rules. You clearly don't want to follow the rules. These scandalous, without merit, frivolous, vexatious allegations have been concocted by persons acting as public servants for the District of Saanich and other government agents who wish to cause irreparable harm to my family, to our people. I am the only woman in the world with first-hand knowledge of who is behind this intentional harm and why. Right? It's conspiracy. There's like a conspiracy going on. Since this malicious prosecution began in August 29th, 2024, it has been consistently and repeatedly communicated to the appropriate parties the lawful reasons for noncompliance. So we just went over this recently. On page 106 of this link is expert witness testimony of a few of the lawful reasons for noncompliance. Well, you know, you're breaking the legal rules. You're violating the code, the criminal code of Canada. So what fucking kind of standing would you actually have if you're the criminals coming after a blameless woman? Starting on page 122 onward, proof of excessive force, violence, and brutality. It's police misconduct is what it is. Right? Because there's no fucking checks and balances for the beasts. Even though there's all these agents sitting behind all these so-called public service agencies that are actually doing absolutely nothing all day, every day, and yet pulling a paycheck every 2 weeks, working on a pension, getting flex days and fucking medical and dental. Well, yeah, I have been caused intentional serious injuries from head to toe. As the days progress, the damage caused to my back and right hand is becoming more apparent as well as debilitating. A woman making a claim bears the burden of proof. Truth is I am. Do rightfully identify as a foreign diplomat and can prove beyond reasonable doubt to possess the status. And we've gone through that document. I'm in fear for my life, have been for years. Therefore, do identify as a woman in need of protection. 3 SWAT assaults within the last 10 months makes it clear I am a woman who is not respected, I am not welcome, and nor am I safe. No further warrants can be obtained by any person, as that act will breach a number of protections guaranteed by the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms as well as international conventions. Canada is a party to uphold, plus more importantly, common law. And the common law protects both life and property. Please relate to persons acting as the Crown, the cliff notes or synopsis of the lawful reasons why this woman will not avail herself Wednesday, tomorrow, June the 18th, or any other date to yet more violence, malice, racism, defamation, torture, and persecution. Kindest regards. Kind regards, actually. Foreign diplomat Victoria Ann, all rights reserved in perpetuity. Well, was that, I mean, did I stutter? What is hard to understand about what's going on here and why it's going on? Because I'm not going to fucking listen to any more of this absolute fucking ridiculous toxic theater that's posing as public services. This is why crime in Canada is out of control. Because you have criminals pretending to be the criminal justice system, and you cannot have criminals running a criminal justice system. Because we can see what's going on, and we can see that things are dialing right out of control. They have no fucking clue what justice is. They have no fucking clue what the law is. They do not understand proper procedure and process. They do not understand that the criminal cannot hide behind a private profiteer. You have the right to remain silent. Would you like to speak to a lawyer? You need to have proof beyond reasonable doubt. You need to have witnesses. You would have the criminal witnessing against themselves. You would have the victim coming forward and providing witness. And then, of course, you've got the common law. You've got the living law that sits right there on the witness box. So if you can't follow the living law, then what you are doing is not only useless, but it's worthless. There's one male monkey somewhere, I think it's in Vancouver, with 115 convictions. And yet it was just charged again with theft. And yet last Thursday, I, a blameless woman, my family and I have been robbed of literally everything now, and if you're listening, you know that. I'm being threatened. Multiple times during this 45-minute conversation, which I am being forced to be a part of. I'm being lied to by all three of them. All three of them are assuming and presuming I don't know what the fuck is going on, and I don't know my rights. They're all assuming and presuming that they have jurisdiction. They don't. You can't. We are foreign diplomats. Jesus is a foreign ambassador, and he's still in the business of choosing, well, at that time they were referred to as disciples. But we're diplomats. We are here from somewhere else to present our culture and our ethnic origin, and to teach the truth, and to provide witness to the wickedness of the wicked. That's why we're here. And we are hated. And the hate doesn't stop. The violence doesn't stop. I only talk about a mustard seed at the tip of the iceberg of what's gone on in my life. Anybody else, anyone who is not one of our people would have lost their minds long ago. They would have done the unthinkable. Because the pressure caused by the hatred and the persecution is indescribable. That I am being forced to listen to lies again and again and again, told by liars. Forced adoption. In the War Crimes Act, it's listed. You didn't come and steal my family's home and everything, leaving us with nothing, despite the fact that we have paperwork that says that you can't do that, and you do it anyway? That's also described in the War Crimes Act. These are war crimes. These public serpents are war criminals. And they are as fucking thick as thieves. And they all have the same fucking mind. They all got the same fucking satanic, sadistic story to tell. What's your side of the story? We're not here to tell a story. We're not here to provide you a story. We have testimony. We provide the testament.